Good morning. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Cowboy Counselor. And today I'm going to be going through just making some useful items for myself. And I made this yesterday. I probably should have filmed it. I have made a ton of axes, throwing tomahawks, hatchets, traditional tomahawks over the years. But I've always found going back and making a hatchet head out of a farrier's rasp is a really good forging exercise and kind of a way to tone up my own skills a little bit. I don't have a rasp laying within reach to show you what that started out like, but it would have looked about like that. That's a file off of my forge. A rasp is just bigger. So this one has been folded, forge welded over at the leading edge, 4 layers thick, and actually came out pretty good. Like I said, I have a lot of these, but I also like having them around to split wood with, take hunting. So today what I need a new ash shovel for our new wood burning stove. We got a new wood burning insert, and the firebox is considerably smaller than the one that we had. And so now the shovel that I have is just kind of inconvenient. So I'm going to go over to the table and show you what we're starting with. Okay, I have some stuff laid out here that I'm going to start with. So the shovel that we had, a little bit too long in the handle. It's just inconvenient. You can't get in there. I've been using a garden trowel that I would have forged several years ago just to clean ash with. You can see the ash build up on it, but it's inconvenient because it's concave, and so it doesn't fit into the flat bottom of the stove to get my ash out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to forge another one of these, probably with a railroad spike handle, because I think that'll work about the best. I didn't film it yesterday, but while I was building this axe that I showed you, I went ahead and grabbed this is an old post hole digger blade. We had several of these old post hole diggers laying around with busted handles, just kind of used up. And rather than throw them away, of course, there's no way I'm throwing away good steel. I'm going to go ahead and use them on projects. I'm sure that's what that came out of, was an old post hole digger blade or a shovel. So yesterday what I did, I started with this and I forged this. It went into the coal forge. I went ahead and cut it down to the configuration that I needed. I went ahead and forged it flat. So you can see that blade is concave. This one is flat, so it'll go into my stove now and hopefully scoop out. Now all I need to do is put a handle on it, and what no bigger than that firebox is, it's going to be a pretty short handle. I don't need much. I'm guessing that either a railroad spike or maybe a good sized chunk of rebar is probably going to fit the bill. And I may still go with the rebar. I'm going to go over there and take a look and see what I have. Okay, I think I will go with the railroad spike, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in the coal fire now and let that start heating. I can already tell I'm going to have to close up this hole that I built. I had originally thought I would stick an oak wood handle in there, and then I realized how stupid that is, considering I'm going to be cleaning hot ash a lot of times out of that fireplace. And if you get embers down in there, of course, it's going to catch fire and smoke. I'm glad I thought that through. Okay, anvil's cold, so it's going to suck heat out of here pretty quick. I'm just going to try to close that up a little bit, probably just overlap it. Make that a much smaller hole so that railroad spike won't look odd in there, even if I end up just welding it in. That might be about right. Okay. Okay, I'm going to mark a line on this. And this is strictly for looks. So this is called candy caning. So when I twist it, it'll have this line that kind of follows. So far, I'm not doing very well. I'm going to slow down a little bit. There we go. As long as I have a little bit of red heat left in there, I can go back and make that just a little deeper. Okay, that might be about enough. We'll go back in the fire. This fullering tool that I'm using right now is also made from scratch. I don't remember out of what. I probably just needed it at one point when I was making draft horseshoes. Okay. Okay, I am just going to put one twist in this. I meant to lay that direction. Sometimes I'll use a clamp when I do this. Today, I think I'm just going to use 2 wrenches and see if I can just get in the twist that I want. So, one. Sorry if my arm obstructed the view there. I think that's probably about it. I guess that was a half a twist. Okay, we're to that point where if I need to level it out a little bit, I need to use something other than a metal hammer because I don't want to put a bunch of dings in my work. So I'm going to try to hit this with a rawhide. And that's pretty straight. So hopefully you can see how our candy cane twist came out. Really simple. When I make knives out of these, sometimes I get a little bit more elaborate, but not much. Okay, let's see if this fits now. This is kind of what I was envisioning. I think that's going to be about right. I might close up this a little bit more, which means I got to heat it again. And I might put a little bit of a bow in this just so it has a nice configuration when I go to use it. A little bit of an arc. So let's go do those 2 things. Nestle that down in there. And put that upside down. I'm going to kick the blower back on. Yeah, close that up a little more, and I might even forge weld that seam a little bit. And for no other reason than just that I can. So I'm going to put a little bit of borax on that. I'm not sure how that's going to go. If I mess it up and it doesn't come out forge welded, I can always just electric weld it too. Okay, the railroad spike is back out of the fire. I'm going to go ahead and butch block it down. It just gets all the slag off of it so that I have a shinier, cleaner product when I get done. So now what I'm going to do, I grabbed a piece of wood out of the wood pile because that rawhide hammer that I was using, I use for a lot of other stuff, and I don't want to beat it up, and it wasn't quite heavy enough. So I'm going to use this log, which I do quite a bit, to put the final arc in it that I wanted. A little bit of a bend, just so my handle will have a nice feel to it. Not much. And make sure I didn't catch my log on fire. Okay, I think that'll work. Okay, that shined it up quite a bit. Got most of my slag and impurities off of it. Looking good. I don't know if that's stuck or not. We'll find out when I go to put that railroad spike in there, and I'm going to be welding that in anyways. Here we go. Okay, here's what we've progressed on to, and it's just sitting in there right now. My forge weld, I had to pop it loose anyways because I wanted to close that up a little bit more just to give it a cleaner line so it doesn't look awkward. I'll probably end up figuring out a way to tack that in there somehow It's still hot right now, so I'm going to let it cool for a while, and then I'll get to welding. Ouch. Okay, I'm sitting in my shop office now. The ash shovel is done. About the only thing I did is I went to the belt sander. I did some cleanup work on it just to get rid of the rough edges. I probably take this inside and try it at the end of the day when I go to clean our stove out. Maybe I'll demonstrate that then. So really enjoyed making this, and I enjoy making my own stuff. Now, to tackle this project, yes, you would probably already have to be a blacksmith or at least have the tools to go to work on it. If you notice on this trowel, I actually did rivets through here, which I probably punched that out on that one. So if you wanted to make something like this, you could use sheet metal, drill the holes here. You could probably still use a railroad spike if you just drilled a hole through the end here and then drove rivets through. And keep in mind, a rivet can just be a 10-penny nail that you cut to fit and then hammer it down. I'm sure that's all that was. In fact, I'm absolutely positive because I can still see the nail heads there. I must have been going through a phase and riveting things. So it was probably a weird time in my life, but yeah, I'm joking. I don't know why I riveted that and didn't just weld it, probably for looks. And this is probably 10 years old. I can see where I put my stamp on the back, my initials with the cross, but I didn't put the year. But I'm sure this thing will probably outlive me. This will as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit like and subscribe. Help me out. And don't be afraid to tackle projects and make your own implements and tools. All right. Have a great day. Stay warm.